A real common place you'll find rust is behind the wheels, either on the quarter panel or the fender. In this case, it's a fender. And I cleaned it up a little bit, and there was a bunch of surface rust, and there ended up being a hole. The wrong way to fix it would be to stuff it with something and then put Bondo over it. Because if you stuff it with something, it traps debris, salt water, and everything behind there. And then the water gets in between it. It creeps its way in between the Bondo and this metal, and it bubbles up. So when you see bubbled up Bondo on fenders or on cars, it means that they didn't fix it the right way. The right way is to cut this, cut all the bad metal out, leave that open back there so there's drainage. Then patch it up with a piece of metal, MIG weld it in there, knock it down below the original surface, fill it with body filler or Bondo, prime it and paint it. So we're going to start by cutting out all the bad metal. And I just keep going bigger until I feel that I have real sturdy, strong metal. And this guy cuts to the right, this guy cuts to the left, and this guy cuts straight. Yellow straight, and the right goes to the left, and green goes to the right. Now right here it's still thin, so I can't get in there with a tin snips. So this is good out here. This is still thin. I'm going to die grind that out. I'm just going to die grind it right to the edge. So here's the hole, and here's the patch. I want to butt it right up to this, because I don't have any place to knock this down. That's the edge. There's no way to pound the patch down. So I'm going to go butt it right up there. Okay? And then out here, I can weld right along here. I'm going to put it right over there, and I'm going to butt it up to this, and then I'm going to weld it here. I got to clean that up yet. I'm going to weld it here and then knock it down and fill it. So right now I'm just going to clamp it right there. Okay, right there. And I'm gonna, this is my most important part, is right here and here. I'm gonna put 2 spot welds right there. Then I'm gonna, grind this up and weld it here. I'll be able to knock that down because there's some flex, it's hollow. So after I grind this up, get the welder ready, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So let's see if we can get this thing welded up. I clamped it into place, grounded it, set the welder up, and let's go for it. Okay, I'm back. I grounded the welder, clamped the patch into place, and see if we can weld this up. Okay, I had to get a clamp, get on there to push it down good enough, so. Okay, that's good enough for me. You know, if this was my car, again, I would leave this just like this. This is fine. I would knock it down and fill it. Probably if you're in a shop, you're going to have to weld in between those and make sure that it's spot welded side by side all the way around, so no water gets through there. But you know, this is going back to the yard. I'm just giving you an idea of how this would be patched. Now we're going to grind this up, sandblast it, knock it down, and fill it. After I grind it and sandblast it, I'll be back to show you how to fill it. Okay, so I cleaned this up and sandblasted it. Ideally, you'd like to have no pits at all, but again, this is just for demonstration purposes. And again, I'd be okay with this myself because I overlapped this metal, and that pit actually bottoms out at metal. So, you know, I'm not too scared. I really never had these patches come back. Maybe if I didn't knock it down far enough and, you know, it was a little shallow, maybe a weld would show through the paint. But if I knock this down well enough and fill it, it's going to last a long time. Like, you know, 10 years. As long as you coat the back of it with, you know, oil. I like to spray oil back there, used oil, and it creeps around. Or undercoat the back side of it. So now I'm just going to, you know, next step is just to knock this down and fill it. Alright, that should be good. You know, I'm not going to kill it. I'm just going to make sure I think that I have it knocked down far enough. And then I'm just going to fill this. And if we have any high spots, we'll knock them down and fill it again. So I just have a little Bondo that I'll mix up here. Okay, that should be good. And I'm going to put it on nice and thick because we're just going to cheese grade this off. And, you know, I'm not worried about sanding a lot because I got the cheese grater and that really cuts it down fast. This is a small spot. Put it on real nice and thick. That way I have a lot to work with. And that's good. That's, you know, it's real thick. But like I said, I have a cheese grater. I'll take it down real fast. And really, honestly, if I have it nice and thick down there and I have that patch knocked down far enough, it's never coming back. Okay, so now we're just going to cheese grate some of that off of there. You know, to see if it's ready. You should just be able to dig in there a little bit with your nail. Too soft, and you'll know when it's too soft because it fills in these things. So we'll try it. I can feel it's, you know, warm, so let's give it a whirl. Yep, that's good. So we'll just cheese grate some of that off of there. That's perfect right now. Looks like we have a little low spot right there, but let me get a block with some sandpaper on and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got a nice fresh sharp piece of 40 grit sandpaper on a rubber block, and we'll finish this up. Now, I got, you know, a little bit of high welds. Those are the welds that are a little bit high. I have one here. I'm going to die grind this one down a little bit. And I'm going to die grind that one down because I really don't think I'll be able to pound them down. But these ones I'm going to hit with a punch. I'll try this one. Yeah, I just die grinded that guy down a little bit. That guy. and I can feel that they're below the filler. Okay, so now I made sure all my high spots were low, and I didn't take too much of the weld off on any of them. I just made sure they were just below the surface of the filler. So now I'm going to mix up. I have a little low spot here. Mix up one more batch of body filler, fill it, and then I'll be right back. Another coat where I filled in another coat of filler where I filled in the low spots. I'm just going to cheese grade that off real quick. So I cheese graded the rest of it down, and now I'm just going to hit it for the last time with a little bit of 40 grit and then some 80 grit, and then we'll prime it and see what it looks like. Now I just folded a piece of, I'm pretty sure that it's nice and flat. I just folded this over, some 80 grit, just to get out those deep scratches so that we can prime them. Okay, that's good for the filler. I'll give it a little shot of primer and we'll see what it looks like. I'm just going to use some spray bomb can primer because just to get you an idea of what this rust ended up looking like. Okay, now after I put a couple of coats, I do see a little high spot, little weld right there. But after a couple coats of primer and I block it, we're going to be A-okay. So that turned out pretty good. And again, this was a rust hole at the back of a wheel on a fender. We welded it up, knocked it down, filled it with filler, and gave it a coat of primer. So I think it turned out real good. I'll hit it one more time here. And then we're going to block sand this and paint it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel.